Hi guys, so that is Marley Wood. Okay, lovely little estate. It's at the top of Stonemason Way. Okay, I love that name. But yeah, God, and I live off Stonemason Way. So I gotta go home and check two things out. Why this is called Stonemason Way. I know why Llewellyn's called Llewellyn. Very sadly, a foreman died on the project, I think a Welsh guy, and I thought it was so decent to actually name the estate after him. Tragedies do happen. So the reason that I was showing you Marley Wood is because at the end of Stonemason Way I live in an estate called Marley Court, and very, very, very fortunate to live there. Lovely estate, absolutely wonderful. The neighbours just awesome, really are just awesome. I actually ended up doing some work for a lady that was moving into the estate, and thought it was profoundly touching that she trusted me to do the work as she was coming in. I'm very grateful for that. But the reason I'm showing you Stonemason Way and Marley Court is cost plans. So two of my friends were doing cost plans and they were doing construction, and both of their cost plans, they were doing relatively the same amount of work. An extension for 40 square meters plus a refurb of their house, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago. And the prices that the cost plans that they were getting back were, and I actually ended up seeing both of them, radically different. There was about 200,000 between the difference in the cost plans between the two different projects. So quite a huge amount of money for the same specifications, less than a mile and a half down the road from each other. So how or why? So I was asked to look at both of them, and both of them were done on square meters only. It was a one-page document, and that one-page document was actually going to change people's lives. Quite astonishing. The couple with the low budget, one was very low. They were going to do more work and they increased the scope of their job. And the other couple was going to move out and it wasn't worth the work and they were going to move to a different house. So, life-changing decisions for the cost of £1,000. And after being involved in that process, what I decided there was from here on in I would do square meter analysis after I'd done a detailed plan. So I do as much detail as I can. I do a little mini bill of quantities, and then I do the square meter rate at the end, not before, because if you do it before, you're going to end up where you think you're going to end up. So there has to be a goal, and the goal is clarity and honesty. So I do the plans, I then do the square meter analysis, then I have dialogue with the clients, but it's still a movable feast because we usually don't have the structural drawings, and that can increase prices. And then PC sums, client spend can increase prices, and people are very, 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 and rightly so, emotionally attached to their hard work, their effort, their diligence. So sometimes they can have their own biases, and sometimes people can get figures anchored into their heads neurologically, and they believe that 350 is 350. But if they keep putting things into the shopping basket, and that's what it is, The drawings effectively are the same mechanics as a shopping basket in Tesco's, and if you keep putting it in, the budget's going to go up. And this sounds very simplistic, and I'm certainly not trying to be simplistic because it's overly complex. People are anchored, people are making colossal financial investment. They're not doing an extension or a refurb. They're building their home. This is their life's work. This is every single piece of energy and effort that they've ever had in their life going in. It's of colossal importance, and there's biases, and the biases is it's a positive bias. It's positiveness that this can be done, but the reality is there's always going to be variations. There's always going to be problems, and the problems and variations are the norm, and how they're controlled is at your disposal, and also the scope of works and the rigidity over handling and controlling costs. So those two projects ended up going ahead. One of them ended up dealing with a local builder who actually lived in the same estate. Really good guy by all accounts, and everything went absolutely according to plan. The other builder on the other project, a little bit of a larger scale and clarifications, and was really good, really decent man. Allowed other like landscaping guys in on the site, and that went extremely well as well. So both projects went well. One came in over, one came in under the cost plan. The cost plans were both skewed, and there was very little difference between the two projects. So they both paid for fair market prices in the end. So, but their lives were going to be designed, instructed, and acted upon on cost plans that were erroneous. So it's difficult, and I have been in situations myself where the cost plan is resubmitted, and you need to sit down with the homeowners and explain that all of these extra items are included now and they were not before. So, and that cannot really be done by square meter analysis. I'm doing one job for a very sharp guy, very clever guy, and he's one of the few guys who he had another quantity surveyor, got a cost plan, and he questioned the methodology of the cost plan. He was told it was done in square meters. He said that doesn't make any sense at all, considering that I'm doing very little work to the rest of the house apart from the conversion and extension. And he didn't really get back a clear answer. So real care, real understanding, and what really needs to be done is this is not a standalone. This needs to be readdressed at tender stage, the projected costs, and throughout the project as well. Thanks guys, sorry if this is getting a bit windy, but I do think it's an important video, really do. I'm actually in Llewellyn now, on the way to Marley Court. So that road out there is Stonemason Way. Actually, I think some people call that Llewellyn Way as well. So that's the difference in a mile and a half. The way that I walk, it's probably only a mile. Geez, I'm a slow walker. I don't walk for my physical health, but a little bit, but I walk for my mental health. I walk to get out and about in fresh air and certainly, talking about those two projects, certainly that's of huge importance as you undertake construction. Thanks, guys. We are on a great weekend. It's Mother's Day. I've been blessed with an extraordinary mother, absolutely extraordinary. So we wish all the mothers all the best today. And my thoughts are also with those who couldn't or conceive children as well. So it's always one of those, isn't it? There's always a shadow, unfortunately. So thanks, guys. Talk to you.